Welcome, both seasoned seekers and brand new wanderers of Sagittarius, to my channel Zodiac Talks Tarot, where philosophy meets prophecy, and cosmic insight comes with a side of laughter. If you're a Sagittarius, you already know that life isn't meant to be lived in a straight line. You're the explorer of the Zodiac, the truth hunter, the one who'd rather gallop into the unknown than sit quietly through small talk. And now, just as the sun squares Neptune, the universe is handing you a riddle wrapped in mist, tied with a bow of confusion, and saying, "Good luck, Archer." This celestial alignment hits on June 23, 2025, and trust me, it's less get your life together and more get ready to question if your toaster has a soul. Neptune, the planet of illusion and spiritual blur, squaring off with the sun, your identity and life force, is basically like trying to read a map printed on a foggy mirror. For a sign like Sagittarius, who typically throws out the map anyway, this transit doesn't just challenge your direction. It invites you to embrace not knowing, to find clarity in chaos. And if you're one of the chosen ones, don't worry, you'll know, weird stuff's been happening lately, hasn't it? This might just be the cosmic turning point in what we're calling the Year of Triumph 2025. As the fog rolls in, reality gets squishy. One minute you're brewing coffee, the next you're wondering if the mug is trying to tell you something. You're not going crazy, you're just tuned into Neptune's dream frequency. For Sagittarians, it's like being dropped into a Salvador Dali painting without warning. The clocks are melting, the llamas are talking, and you're starting to realize that maybe reality was never as solid as you thought. But here's the secret, Sagittarius thrives in the in-between. You don't need everything to make sense to move forward, you just need meaning, and sometimes meaning reveals itself only after the fog lifts. So grab your metaphysical bow, adjust your internal compass, and aim not for certainty, but for wisdom. Because the road ahead may be unclear, but if anyone was born to walk it with humor, hope, and a few inappropriate jokes along the way, it's you. Let me tell you something, dear Sagittarius, if life feels like it's taken a hard left into a Salvador Dali painting lately, you're not alone. Welcome to the foggy, fantastical realm of Sun Square Neptune, where illusions aren't accidents, they're cosmic riddles, or what I like to call the universe's version of a Zen Koan. And if you're expecting a straight answer from the cosmos right now, bless your fire sign heart, but no. What you're being handed is a shimmering, shape-shifting mirror, and it's asking, who are you when everything false is stripped away? You see, Sag, you burn for truth. It's your birthright. But truth is a slippery little fox, especially now. Sometimes it hides inside paradox, wrapped in poetic nonsense, waiting for you to stop trying to chase it down with a logic stick. The fog isn't here to mess with you, it's here to cleanse you. It's dissolving the roles, the labels, the expectations you've picked up like souvenirs from 100 inner road trips. You're not losing yourself, you're re-shedding what was never truly you. Like a Buddhist monk chuckling in the middle of silent meditation after realizing his greatest insight was just his mind doing cartwheels, this moment asks you to laugh at the illusion, not fear it. That laughter? That's enlightenment knocking softly at the door. And yes, let's talk emotions, because suddenly you're feeling everything. Yours, your neighbors, your baristas, the cat's existential dread, you name it. This isn't weakness. This is Neptune amplifying your empathic radar. You're not unraveling, Sag, you're opening. And I get it, normally you're more about charging forward, aiming your philosophical arrows into the great beyond. But now's the time to pause and listen to the emotional undercurrent. Ride the wave. Don't dissect it. Let the feelings move through you like a song you didn't expect to like but can't stop playing on repeat. Then of course write a blog post about it. Maybe even a book. Call it something vague and mystical, like The Soul Was Always There, but I was checking Twitter. And now for the main event, your dreams. Oh, they're going to get weird. Like, I was riding a dolphin through a library that was on fire while reciting Rumi, kind of weird. And while your rational brain might want to chalk it up to that spicy tofu you had for dinner, I'm telling you these dreams are messages. Neptune doesn't speak in bullet points. It speaks in metaphor, in image, in the type of cinematic vision that only a Sagittarius could look at and say, well, clearly, this symbolizes the rebirth of my mythic identity through aquatic wisdom. Exactly. Because that's the thing you, Sag, are: the storyteller, the sacred clown, the philosopher-poet with a suitcase full of meaning. These dream portals are showing you forgotten parts of yourself, the rebel, the healer, the stargazer who used to believe that magic was real. Well, guess what? It still is. The fog is just thinning enough for you to remember. So take notes. Laugh at the madness. Cry if you need to. Then stand up, shake off the emotional seaweed, and step forward. Because this isn't a breakdown, it's the beginning of your myth reborn. Let's talk about something that Sagittarius rarely gets credit for: zoning out. That's right, spacing out, tuning in, going blank in the middle of a Zoom call while your co-workers discuss quarterly goals you didn't even know existed. To some, this might look like disinterest. But to the cosmos? Oh no, this is premium grade spiritual alignment. What you're actually doing is slipping into Theta brainwave states, the same state Buddhist monks train for years to master in deep meditation. Except you, dear Archer, managed to enter it mid-scroll while watching a cat try to open a fridge. Accidental enlightenment? Perhaps. But real nonetheless. Now, if you've recently found yourself blinking out of a daydream and wondering where you just went for the last 10 minutes, don't panic. That wasn't a distraction, that was a download. Neptune's fog is full of whispers, and you, yes, you, Sagittarius, are one of the chosen ones it's speaking to. This isn't just daydreaming. It's divine eavesdropping. Grab your journal. Jot it all down. That strange symbol you saw in your mind's eye? That feeling you had out of nowhere? They're puzzle pieces. And if anyone's equipped to turn that mystery into a map, it's the Archer with the philosophical toolkit and a bookmark in the Dhammapada. Which brings us to identity, or more accurately, the glorious loss of it. Sag, if you've been feeling like you don't know who you are anymore, I have news: that's not a breakdown. That's a spiritual exfoliation. You're peeling off years of labels: the traveler, the teacher, the joker, the one with all the answers. But what happens when the roles disappear? What's left? That, my friend, is the eternal flame inside you, the part that never needed a title or a job description. It's not an identity crisis. It's a soul-level upgrade, and you're leveling up whether you're ready or not. And just when you think the fog couldn't possibly bring more, it opens the floodgates of creativity. Lightning bolt ideas. Out of nowhere inspiration. You'll be halfway through folding laundry when suddenly bam, a full poem downloads into your brain, complete with metaphors, footnotes, and probably a unicorn reference. It's not just art, it's channeling. You're not expressing creativity, you are creativity. Whether it's painting, songwriter, or launching a TikTok series called Zen and the Art of Sagittarius Chaos, this is your cosmic cue to lead. Because let's be honest, Sagittarius was never meant to be a passive observer of life. You're here to blaze trails, shake paradigms, and throw glitter on truth bombs. This is the moment where the chosen ones become the guides, the philosophers become the poets, and the daydreamers turn into the mapmakers of a new reality. So yes, zone out. Forget who you were. Create like it's sacred. Because spoiler alert, it is. Let's be honest, Sagittarius, if your relationships have been feeling like plot twists from a daytime soap lately, you can thank Neptune for pulling the curtain back on the drama. During this transit, illusions that once looked like soul contracts might turn out to be, well, supporting roles at best. The person you thought was your cosmic twin flame? Turns out, they were more like a warm-up act for the real deal. And on the flip side, someone you barely noticed, maybe the friend who always sends you dog memes at just the right time, might suddenly reveal emotional depths that make you rethink everything. This is not about heartbreak, it's about heart truth. And no one wields a truth torch better than you, Sagittarius. It might sting, but remember, fire signs don't avoid the burn, they rise from it. As Neptune continues its dreamy, truth-bending dance, the fog will feel thick, and the temptation to fix things might be strong. But here's the thing, don't fight the fog, dance in it. And I mean that literally. Go outside. Move your body. Hike, swim, do a weird interpretive dance under the moonlight if that's what your soul calls for. This is a spiritual process, and sometimes the best therapy is just letting your body remind you that you're alive and free. And while you're at it, protect your energy like your Wi-Fi password. That means staying away from emotional vampires, drama magnets, and yes, even your friend who still thinks Mercury retrograde is just a myth. It's okay to unplug. And when things get confusing, write it out. Journal. Reflect. Repeat. The fog is temporary, but the insight you gain from it will stick with you for a lifetime. Now, here's the good part, because, yes, Sagittarius, it does get good. Once Neptune finishes its magic trick and the mist lifts, clarity comes rushing in like a breath of fresh air in a forest full of truth. You'll look around and suddenly see things for what they really are. No filters. No projections. Just you, standing tall in your truth, probably barefoot and laughing, because that's how you were always meant to be. This clarity won't just help you understand the people around you, it will reconnect you to your own core essence, the fire that never dims, even in the darkest fog. Because let's be real, you don't fear chaos. You fear stagnation. And what this transit is doing, beautifully and sometimes brutally, is shaking the dust off your soul and calling you back into alignment. When the fog clears, you're not just going to feel renewed, you're going to feel like yourself again. Not the version molded by expectation or attachment, but the untamed, open-hearted, wisdom-seeking wild arrow of the Zodiac. And as if the universe wasn't already giving you enough, just 2 days later, the new moon in Cancer arrives on June 25th. It's the perfect moment to rewrite your emotional blueprint, to plant truth where illusion used to be, to set intentions that aren't based on fantasy but on grounded, radiant self-awareness. This isn't just a soft reset, it's the sacred reboot of your heart. The Year of Triumph 2025 isn't just a phrase, it's your reality in the making. And the best part? You're not just living the story, Sagittarius, you're helping write it. So here's your call to action, my fellow archer of the stars: live it. Laugh with it. Dance through the uncertainty. Cry if you need to. Then keep going. You were made for this kind of beautiful chaos. And hey, if you've enjoyed this journey through the fog and fire, do me a favor. Like this video, share it with your fellow truth seekers, and hit that subscribe button on Zodiac Talks Tarot. There's more where this came from, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's next. Until then, stay wild, stay wise, and never stop aiming for the stars.